notoriety, wealth, and attention. Although these are the typical traits of an America's Got Talent winner, Richard Goodall's post-win life isn't exactly a Hollywood tale. Today, we disclose how his way of life has changed in unexpected ways. The narrative of Richard Goodall is about having high dreams and how even the most common individuals can achieve amazing things. Richard and his family led a modest life in the small Indiana town of Terre Haute, where he was raised. From an early age, his biggest passion was music. He dreamed of playing on a large stage someday and spent endless hours singing along to his favorite tunes on his Radio Shack stereo. However, life compelled Richard to put those aspirations aside as he grew older. After high school, Richard needed a steady job. Since he couldn't afford college, he started working as a janitor at Chauncey Rose Middle School. He oversaw the school's cleanliness and staff and student safety for 23 years. Richard never lost sight of his passion for music, even though it wasn't the life he had envisioned. Both teachers and kids were drawn to his voice, which filled the voids even as he mopped floors and cleaned halls. At the school, the singing janitor immediately gained popularity. He sang God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood on Veterans Day celebrations, which was one of his favorite performances. He also performed at other school functions. Everyone who heard his speech was moved, and the pupils started referring to him respectfully and admiringly as Mr. Richard. Richard's life changed drastically in 2022. The teachers urged him to choose a song that would best display his talent during one of the school functions. Richard selected Journey's Don't Stop Believin', a song that had special value for him. A teaching assistant videotaped him singing and uploaded it to TikTok because she thought it may be entertaining. Nobody had any idea what would happen next. In a single day, the video received over 100,000 views, demonstrating its rapid virality. The figure exceeded 1 million by the end of the weekend, and comments from all around the world began to pour in. His voice enthralled others, and many praised his intensity. Even the renowned Steve Perry and other Journey members left comments on the video. Producers of America's Got Talent noticed this unexpected spike in popularity, and before Richard knew it, he had received an invitation to try out for the show. It was the realization of a dream. The janitor, who had previously performed in school corridors, was now scheduled to appear on one of the largest stages in the world. Could Richard, however, withstand the strain? 2 years after his viral moment, on May 27th, Richard made his debut appearance on AGT. In front of judges Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, Sofia Vergara, and Simon Cowell, Richard inhaled deeply before starting to sing, Don't Stop Believin'. He put on an absolutely amazing performance. He received a standing ovation from the judges, who were astounded by the volume of his voice. Richard was showered with golden confetti after Heidi Klum, who was particularly moved, pressed the golden buzzer. It was a moment that would change his life and secure his spot in the live performances. Richard realized that his life would never be the same as he stood on stage, overcome with happiness. The whole town of Terre Haute came together in support of Richard. People from all across the neighborhood made sure to vote for him throughout the live performances, and watch parties were planned. Richard's journey was about optimism and tenacity, not just about a man with a wonderful voice. He turned into an inspirational figure who demonstrated that aspirations can come true regardless of how long they have been postponed. The reality of celebrity started to set in as Richard got ready for the live performances. Offers to play on record albums and even at concerts began to flood in. Everything was thrilling up until record labels started ringing his doorbell. After landing his first record deal, Richard released his first album, Believe Again, which included a number of original songs as well as well-known covers, such as Don't Stop Believin', Richard's journey and a goal he had carried since his days of belting out songs on his stereo were reflected in the CD. For Richard, the recording process was both thrilling and daunting. The peaceful life he was accustomed to in Indiana was very different from Hollywood. Richard, however, felt at home in the studio with the skilled musicians and producers. He was supposed to be here. Being asked to play at Nashville, Tennessee's Grand Ole Opry, a legendary institution that has played host to some of the biggest names in music history, was one of the highlights of Richard's new career. Richard was overcome by the weight of what he had done as he took the platform. He was met with deafening applause from the crowded crowd of admirers. The audience gave him a standing ovation for his faultless performance. Richard would never forget that moment. Richard stayed the same grounded individual he had always been, despite his growing celebrity. He continued to be active in the community, making many trips to Terre Haute and even establishing a scholarship fund for Chauncey Rose Middle School students. The Believe in Fund was established to support students who wanted to study music but couldn't afford it. Giving back was equally as significant to Richard as his personal achievements. He also started advocating for arts education, visiting schools all over the nation to tell his story and inspire youngsters to pursue their goals despite all the challenges. The tale of Richard Goodall's transformation from janitor to America's Got Talent champion is one of fortitude, modesty, and the strength of aspirations. Millions of people worldwide have been influenced by him, not just by his voice but also by his heart. Richard is aware that the best is still to come as he keeps performing on stages all throughout the nation. We at Royal Echo would like to sincerely congratulate Richard Goodall on his outstanding triumph. We have supported you from the start, and it has been a true pleasure to see your adventure come to fruition. We genuinely believed in your skill, which is why we have produced so much information about your inspirational narrative. Now, everyone is aware of how unique you are. We are so happy to share this moment with you, Richard. Your victory is proof that you should never give up on your goals. Thank you for encouraging us all, and keep shining. What are your thoughts on Richard's amazing journey? Do you think his tale demonstrates that it is possible for dreams to come true? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Richard's tale is far from finished.